Alright, let's continue with our quest then. Head over here, speak to the Queen of the Marauders, and we'll see what happens after that. Just as a quick point, whenever I finished recording the videos yesterday and started uploading them, I listened back to them and felt that the microphone I was using wasn't particularly clear or great, and a lot of times it wasn't really... I felt like there was a lot of background noise, maybe like a lot of fuzz. So I have got my old desktop microphone back out, got that plugged in, given it a go today, but again, when I'm listening to it, I can hear a lot of keystrokes and things in the background, so if we do find that the keystrokes are getting very distracting, if you could let me know in the comments, I will see if I can do anything else about it. Maybe end up having to get one of the sort of extension arms to hold it off my desk might help. I got here before these mines that are around the place absolutely destroyed me, to the point where I got offered a flaw for having a concussion so much. Ooh, okay, loot respawns in this game, so I guess I probably shouldn't spend too much time looting everything. If every time I come back, it's gonna be there again.
What I wouldn't do for a Wentworth.
I've been sent to find you.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
Stefan told me about your favorite cereal.
So you tracked me down just to gab about the mass marketeer? I am impressed.
Stefan wanted to watch this with you.
I see what's going on here. I'm being bribed. Well, it's working. I can't say no to my favorite cereal. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is going to be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Take care. Another thing I've sort of thought about yesterday actually was the brightness settings. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for everybody to be able to see the actual scenery at nighttime, especially in these sort of darker covered areas. So I'm going to just try to change the gamma just slightly, just to make it a little bit easier. Hopefully during the daytime it doesn't make it really hard again to then see then, because everything's far too bright.
What is it?
I talked Zoe into coming back.
We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
Something about wanting to be an outlaw. I'd rather not get into it.
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
I will leave you be. Your companion is leveled up and can be granted a new perk. Go to the companion page in your ledger and select the perk button to see the available perks. So, yeah, we'll do our perks after. So we can give them extra base health, make them generate more or less threat, or increase engineer when they're in the party. Definitely do that. Back to our skills then. Yeah, I felt yesterday that I wanted to keep going into the stealth skill to try to get the lockpick increase as much as possible. But with the idea that when you do lockpick, you get some extra skills, some extra XP in that area, I probably shouldn't rush that too much, especially now it's up to 53 with the with all of the different areas that I can get from it. So I think what I need to do is probably increase my combat skills. Just to try to make combat a little bit better, so I don't get annihilated every time I go in somewhere. You've unlocked location hit effects for tactical time dilation. Hitting enemies in different locations during DDD maims or cripples those body parts. Try different locations to see the different effects. Hits to the chest produce different effects when using different weapons. Did I unlock that for all of? Yeah, I did. Okay. So the next thing that we had was we could speak to, I think it was Adelaide. But what is the stranger in a strange land? Yeah, okay. So I think that links directly into this one. So I suppose we'll speak to her now, see what, sort of what they want me to do. It does say that they're now agreeable though, so that's good. Must have opened that door earlier. There are so many different items in the game, and necklaces and earrings and things like that. I'm also curious what these tossball cards are for. Some sort of collectible. Maybe a rep hand in or something.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
I'm surprised you've managed to grow anything out here.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Looks like you've made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why did you leave your old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Reed sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I need it to power my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
A hero to you, maybe.
A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits.
Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
What have you got against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I don't much like you throwing that in her face to get me on your side.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
What do you have against people trying to make a living?
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
I guess you have a point.
So, what do you say? Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery for good.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
There must be a way to share the power between the two areas.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands. Fresh off the...
Okay, well, that didn't really give us too much to work with. So I guess I am going to go over to this area first, loop into the active quest, and then I'll go to that cave as well while I'm there. It's a shame there's no way to put a waypoint down. Oh, waterfall. Can I get behind the waterfall? There has to be loot in there. Suppose not. What's this? Oh, a different cave? A hideout? Wow, I actually missed that shot. I'm gonna hurt myself again. Oh, I'm not. The marauders must fight with each other. Every time there's a marauder area, there seems to be dead marauders. This has to be part of a quest. Why is there a random bag here? Okay, so this is that village. Let's see if I can actually land this shot instead of missing like the last one.
Here we go. Nice one.
Opening up from a range on them definitely is helping a lot with the amount of damage I was taking. Another vending machine unlocked. Anything decent in it? There is mag picks, but I've got so many at this stage I probably don't need to get any more. I also need, like, I've not used any of these shunts yet, I suppose. I've just not come across any computers that need hacked yet. Gonna have to end up thinking about my loot list in this game, I think. There's just so much stuff. Okay, so I guess loop back into that little village. And see what's going on there. Just thinking about the time dilation effect that the game was talking about, where it's got the, you know, shooting different areas can cause different effects. It reminds me a lot of the Fallout game. I think it was Fallout 3 or 4. It had like a dart gun that you could craft, and that dart gun was one of the best ways to take out Deathclaws, which is one of the hardest enemies in the game. You could essentially use it to shoot them in the legs and it will cripple them, and then give you a ton of time to be able to then just take them down from a range and kite them around. Always very helpful to be able to do that. Parvati is up with me. If I use her on something at that range, will she automatically just be down there to do a melee attack? Let's try it out, if we can see another enemy at range. Oh, yeah, okay.
Incoming!
Oh, it actually tells you what it does. You don't even have to shoot them first to test it out. This blue barrel, is that another thing that explodes? Okay, shock damage, I guess? Maybe like an EMP thing? Should probably really try to make more use of the barrels around the place. Ah, eventually. A shunt. Let's disarm the security fences and check the recent logs. Well, it doesn't say anything useful. Okay, I don't want to enter that zone just yet. Let's have a look around the other buildings. There might be information that helps us make decisions around whether we, you know, route the power in one place or another. I really would rather not have one of the settlements get destroyed. I think if I have to make the choice, though, I will probably side with the the people who are in the greenhouse area. Just because most of the time, that whatever we've seen Spacer's Choice doing so far, I've not been very impressed with how they treat people. Well, let's go in. Oh yeah, what was that armor we found outside? Yeah, it's very low. Very low armor.
Control room should be
5 tech skill seems fine, but yeah, it's still not great.
I hope we're doing the right thing.
Must be enemies in here somewhere. Oh yeah, there's one right here. Takes us back outside. So that was the. So that's both the entrances there. Nothing here. Guess we got upstairs we can go to. Finish off down here though. It is only single target, but that ability that Parvati has is really strong. That immediate stun or knockdown is awesome. Let's have a look at the plant status first. Emerald Field geothermal plant operating at 22% efficiency. Power is currently being distributed to the Edgewater Saltuna Cannery and the Botanical Laboratory. So they're both getting a bit of power already. Yeah, I'm not going to reroute this just yet. I think we'll go upstairs, we'll have a look up here. If we don't see anything useful, I'm going to go back to the... I'm going to go back to the actual town and see if I can speak to Reed. Maybe he has some new options once we... actually, now that we spoke to Adelaide. Messages from Spacer's Choice, first of all. Miss Braden, this letter serves as an informal notification of the company's displeasure towards your management of the Emerald Field geothermal plant for reasons related to exceeding your staff budget in your latest quarterly report. Please select 5 subordinates to be dismissed immediately. Additionally, please contact our office to schedule your official reprimand at your earliest convenience. Failure to schedule your official reprimand will result in an official reprimand. The Spacer's Choice family would like to collectively remind you that working for Spacer's Choice is not a right but a privilege. From Jay Braden then. To the esteemed members of the Emerald Field Development and Oversight Committee, I hope this letter finds you wealthy. After due consideration of your last letter, I've identified and terminated no fewer than 5 subordinates who were unable to provide sufficient justification for their ongoing employment. I would like to remind the Oversight Committee that while most of the Emerald Veil has failed to meet its production and output quotas, particularly our agriculture and fishing/canning departments, neither of which are anywhere close to profitable, the Emerald Veil geothermal plant remains committed to providing cheap, cost-efficient power to the entire region. And then, I guess, in response to Spacer's Choice, Miss Braden, we've investigated the claims made against the profitability of the greater Emerald Field region. Our office agrees with you. Agriculture and fishing canning have experienced a steady decline, while the Emerald Field geothermal plant remains somewhat profitable. Our offices are currently investigating ways to implement additional cost-saving measures, which will ultimately lead to a leaner, more streamlined, more efficient geothermal power plant. Please be informed that the Spacer's Choice Development and Oversight Office has taken a significant insurance policy against the Emerald Field geothermal plant. The office would like to assure you that this insurance policy is a standard procedure. Do not attempt to interpret, understand, or otherwise extrapolate meaning from this decision. As a special courtesy, we have deployed a proprietary team of engineering specialists to the Emerald Field geothermal plant. This team of specialists has been instructed to refit and upgrade the plant's population of automechanicals free of charge. Thank you for your cooperation. Yeah, okay. So, not making enough money, send out a load of robots, get them all set up, and then have the robots wipe everybody out in the plant, put in an insurance claim.
Easy.
Even the start of those the messages there as well is kind of crazy. Again, it's one of the things that when we look at how employment in today's age works, it's much safer than what we might be used to in or what we could get in the future, or other parts of the world, right? There's some parts of the world that don't have any sort of protections in place at all. You kind of, when you work somewhere, I think America is pretty big on the sort of hire, refire contract stuff, where you can just be like let go at any moment. It's scary to think, you know, you get up one day and you're heading to work, and then all of a sudden you are just told there and then that you have to leave.
Wow, you got that?
Personnel files. Log 079. S. Tanaka, Chief of Security. Chester Higgins again, that hull head. Found him fiddling around with one of the mechanicals, so I had to write him up for tampering with company property. Just in case I'm reading this a couple days from now and feeling bad for what I've done, let me just remind myself that I've warned him before. He's always been a little cooked in the skull. He was working on some logic module. I confiscated it. Should be in my lock-away room for the foreseeable future. Log 087. Doesn't sit right with me. Company's been replacing our guards with automechanicals. At this rate, I'm going to end up a chief of security with no staff. Just a small army of automechanicals knocking about, guns pointed every which way. Company tells us they're safe. Programmed to treat us humans like their own. People are liable to break down, but an automechanical never will. I don't know. Doesn't sit right with me. But the company's never been wrong before, I suppose. Log 098. Worse has happened. Mechanical's gone crazy. Locked myself down here. Just trying to gather my courage. Gonna make a mad dash for the control room. Might be able to shut the things down. Will delete this entry if I return. The final automated message 006. Greetings, Security Chief S. Tanaka. This is an automated message initiated by Spacer's Choice Worker Safety Contingency Protocols. A security lockdown has been initiated. This is not a test. Your behaviour during this lockdown will be reviewed during your quarterly audit. Anxiety is a common side effect of life-threatening situations engendered by security lockdowns. Fight back against anxiety with an ice-cold bottle of 0G Brew. 0G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you. Again, we get into the idea of, you know, don't be depressed, just be happy. Great, okay, so we were actually able to unlock a door. Nice. Let's see what's in there.
Processing.
Ah, great. Enemies.
Forming an area.
Probably should have paid more attention to that before I just walked straight into the room.
Here goes nothing! I've got hurt! Woohoo! Nice work! Not a peep for me.
Returning to normal protocols.
I wonder if the security guard is down here. We can get his pass for his door. Don't see him.
I'll fix you right up!
Initial.
Everyone all right?
Oh, that looks cool. This looks very cool. Oh, somebody's in here?
You're not real. You're not real.
How far down is this guy?
Go away, Phantom.
Good place to be, I guess. Robots can't get down here.
Go away, Phantom.
Oh, awesome. That's the third part of the logs for the guy back in
You're
the
not real. You're
geothermal
not
plant.
real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram.
I wasn't trying to startle you. Most people don't see me coming.
Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantoms. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
You're not
Of
imagining me.
course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
What is it you do here?
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
How have you been surviving all this time?
Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides.
So you had sprats.
Braised, boiled, charred, skewered. Sprats are good eating, friend. Chock full of brain food.
What happened to this place?
Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium.
And you weren't killed?
I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
You mentioned being an engineer.
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Repaired them, maintained, upgraded. Did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
If you worked in those mechanicals, you must know a way to stop them.
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
I can deal with the mechanicals. I made it this far, didn't I?
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
Mechanicals follow the behavior of their logic module. Someone tampered with it.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
I wanted to ask you something.
The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy.
Okay.
Forgot what you were gonna say? Me too.
Yep, nothing else to say. So we set the next section over. But I don't see many, I don't see doors down here, so it must be up the stairs. These aren't doors, right? No. Oh, that's a point. So Parvati has this. That's 131 DPS. Let's swap that out. 132. Yeah, we'll give her that as well. Let's see if that makes her a bit more impactful during combat.
Great work.
This zone is huge.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Halt.
Here goes nothing.
Searching for unauthorized persons.
I see it now. No hard feelings, okay?
Engineering, shut off steam release valves. Oh, so that was just a loop around there? Wait, was it his keycard that was for the door that was closed? I thought that said it was the security chief's door. Modify behavior. Select new mode? Auto mechanicals in this facility have been mandated to remain in guard mode. Any attempt to alter this setting is punishable by company law. Your infraction has been noted in your permanent record. See Higgins. Please see your supervisor to schedule a reprimand. Uh-oh. Auto mechanicals in the facility have been mandated to target intruders. Any attempt to alter this setting is punishable by company law. Okay. So what? All I did was hit 3. It is not saying that it's changed anything. I suppose I'll have to just assume that I'm no longer a threat. Find out whenever we get close to one, I suppose. Ooh. What is that? Borrowed a copy of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. I think it's volume 3. I need something to read down in the pit. Yeah. We've already got that. Access repair log 12. Corporate just sent the team of technicians to conduct a complete refit of all our mechanicals, every sentry and drone. It's not my place to say so, but doesn't this run contrary to Spacer's Choice mission of being as cheap as possible? Just in case I'm audited, I would like to formally express how grateful I am to be a part of Spacer's Choice family. Spacer's Choice is the leading brand in affordable sundry across Halcyon. It's not the best choice, it's the Spacer's Choice. Repair log 20. I just finished the routine maintenance on our mechanical sentries. I found some strange modifications to their logic modules. I haven't had time to run the diagnostics, so I don't know what's been modified. All I know is that these modifications were introduced in our recent refit. Company went through the trouble of refitting every single mechanical in the plants not long ago. Guessing this was the work of those visiting technicians. I filed a report, but my supervisor told me not to worry about it. Said the company knew what it was doing. Ordered me to forget about any alleged modifications to the logic modules. Decided to do a bit of sleuthing by my own self. Got my hands on a logic module. Time to do some experimentation. So I think I came in here and I went up those stairs, so this should be the next place to look. I have no idea what I just did. That might be bad. Oh, okay, now we can change this. Define intruders to Spacer's Choice mechanicals. Yeah.
Investigate.
Okay, I think what we'll do now is go and hunt in the side quests. We will speak to Reed to see if there's anything else that we can do instead of just switching the power from one place to the other. And then we will, I guess, come back and see what happens then. Might be that there's just no other option. We have to make a choice. So I want to know how to get there. How do I get in that room? Oh, there's a door right here. Memory is purged, so access file 1. I had to borrow your copy of Young Space's Guide. We've kind of already seen that. Chaos everywhere, mechanicals gone haywire, gunfire, hearing some screams. Oh no, I think that was someone's leg. Would like to leave early for the day. Please deduct delinquency fee from my pay. Thank you. Proud to be members of the special choice. All right, let's head back. We do have the cave to do as well, so I suppose we'll do that on the way back. And then that leaves us... We'll head... Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do the cave. We'll hand in the mechanical journals. Fast travel over to the town. Hopefully get some change of options there. And then we'll come back here and make the final choice. These caves are so cool. I love how these plants glow around the rocks. I do hope I come across a way to actually dismantle landmines at some point rather than having to just blow them up. Especially if it takes me 3 rounds to hit it once. So that leaves 3. Wow, that 150 skill is actually crazy. Even when your companions aren't with you, but they're on they're back in the ship, you still get some of their points. I think we'll put a few more points into persuasion because we are probably going to get to a point where that gets a lot more difficult to convince people to do what we need. So we have another perk point. We still haven't unlocked tier 2 because we need to get 5 from what I remember. Carry capacity hasn't been an issue because we can just grind things. So I think I'm just literally going to avoid that for the rest of the game probably. Oh, I'm really torn between these two. Although the items don't actually go down that badly, and I suppose we find so many things we can repair it really quickly. So again, maybe if there's like a unique item later in the game I really want to keep, I'll do that, depending on the repair cost. I think based on the mines and running off cliffs, I'll probably do this one. Give myself more health. And now that that's done, we can just fast travel. This guy was down here.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
Today's your lucky day, Thomas. I've got one of those data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 1, found it in the community center archives.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Hold on, I've got one more for you.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2, found it in the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
Hold on, I've got more for you.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
The elusive Part 3. Someone stashed it away inside the old geothermal plant.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
I wanted to ask you something.
What's on your mind?
Let's move on. Then, yeah. Fast travel. Let's fast travel to the landing pad. That crazy general guy was there, the sergeant or whatever he was. He was worried about the auto mechanicals. Now that we've wiped them out from the...
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon.
Now we've wiped them out from that area that we were just at, the geothermal plant. Maybe he will be a little bit more chill.
Colony ain't gonna liberate itself. The Resistance needs every gun hand.
Alright, let's join him and see what he says. If your assistant needs another gun, I'm for hire.
I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saltuna cans, mostly. Some Spacer's Chaw. Few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid.
Proper army's paying enlistment fees.
Enlistment fees? Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name.
What do you need done?
They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
If I'm going after this mechanical scout, I could use a couple of pointers.
Mechanical's got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing.
I'll let you be.
Easy.
Oh, he knows, right? Bet I could fix him up smart.
This might be a new companion. Oh.